So I'm going to introduce someone to you. It's Michael Vocchio. You already said hi, but let's get into some of the details here. Michael Vocchio was born in Wurzburg, Germany, into a military family and grew up in Northern Virginia. So he was an Army brat. He attended Georgia Institute of Technology, where he graduated with a bachelor's degree in civil engineering. He has a 37-year career in the steel construction industry, working in a variety of positions, including being a general manager and a company president. Michael moved to Nashville, Tennessee in 2010, where he found Science of Mind at the Music City Center for Spiritual Living. His ministers were Reverends Michael and Diane Woody. After 2.5 years in Nashville, with his newly acquired skill of spiritual mind treatment, Michael manifested a career-expanding opportunity in Kansas City, Missouri, where he continued his study of Science of Mind with Dr. Chris Michaels and Reverend Mike Irwin at Center for Spiritual Living, Kansas City. This is also where he found his soulmate, best friend, supporter, lover, and encourager. Yes, that's all one person. It's his wife, Cynthia. In Kansas City, Michael chose to pursue classes with his eyes set on becoming a licensed religious science practitioner. He completed all his classes through year 1 of practitioner studies. Then, through his spiritual practice, Michael manifested yet another career opportunity, and he and Cynthia moved to Asheville. They both started attending CSL Asheville right away. Michael completed his second year of practitioner studies online with Reverend Michelle Wadley, minister of North Jersey Center for Spiritual Living, and in close consultation with me and with several other practitioners, including Devon Embler and April Connor. He passed his practitioner exam and oral panel this summer and is here today to be installed as a licensed practitioner of this center. Please welcome Michael Vocchio. So you get to stand in the center, and we're going to do our social distancing thing and go through this. So as we begin here, I would like to ask all of the licensed practitioners in the room to please stand, because you are definitely part of this experience. You want to give them a hand? Yes. Thank you. Michael Vocchio, you have chosen healing through the knowing of truth as a life profession. You have consecrated yourself to this end through study and application. Now do you dedicate your life to the service of others through the teaching and practice of Science of Mind?
I do.
Thank you. And to you who joined this one who is being installed today, you too have chosen healing. I lost my place. Through the knowing of truth as a life profession. You have consecrated yourselves to this end through continued study and application. Do you now rededicate your life to the service of others?
I do.
Thank you.
Michael, will you continue to study and expand your consciousness to become even more effective in your chosen way? And to the best of your ability, will you know the truth of each person in your life, especially those who come to you for support?
I will.
And to those of you who stand with this one today, will you continue to study and expand your consciousness to become even more effective in your chosen way? And to the best of your ability, will you know the truth of each person in your life, including all colleagues and this one who joins you today?
Dr. Ernest Holmes, the founder of religious science, has much to say about the work of the practitioner. Consider these words as you take this next step on your chosen path, Michael. The professional, mental, and spiritual practitioner is one who has dedicated their life, their time, their energy, and their intelligence to others through mental and spiritual means and methods. This is your calling.
Mm-hmm.
Practitioners are those who recognize the power of mind They definitely, specifically, and concretely and consciously speak from their objective mind into subjectivity, and in so doing, give direction to the law. The first requisite for the mental and spiritual practitioner is a full sense of sanctity of trust and the sacredness of each person requesting treatment.
The work of the practitioner is always done in strict confidence and must be kept sacrosanct. A practitioner is obligated to honor this trust at the same level that a priest is obligated when hearing a confession, or an attorney is obligated when representing the affairs of a client, or a physician is obligated when caring for the well-being of a patient. This is a sacred trust.
The consciousness of the practitioner in spiritual mind treatment must go beyond words, statements, and phrases. It is at the center of all life and through the one mind that the practitioner does his or her work. Practitioners hold the one for whom they are treating within their own mentality, dissolving all false appearances and erroneous conclusions to reveal only absolute truth. It is through the practitioner's directing of the law that all healing is accomplished.
Ernest Tone writes these words to you, to all of you, as practitioners in how to use the science of mind. You must see that everyone is moving in the light. You are one who is holding out a helping hand, gladly and willingly, feeling it the greatest privilege that can come to you. Out of your assurance that God is all there is, out of your knowledge that the law of mind in action will execute your word, you travel along the path of self-discovery for yourself and others, sometimes blindly feeling your way, but always with an assurance that there is a way, a truth, and a life.
And Michael, as you live these ideas, our glorified life is, as you live these ideals, life is glorified, humanity is strengthened, and you continue to grow in greater awareness that all of life dwells within the divine essence of the one Spirit.
Thank you, practitioners. You may sit down. This being so, I now charge you, Michael Vocchio, to rise above conditions with every expression and experience, seeing only wholeness and perfection, by knowing your life and all life is the life of God. And in so doing, seek always to embrace and embody these attributes: peace, power, beauty, joy, love, light, and wisdom, wherever you go, in whatever you do.
Through this knowing, you claim a clear consciousness centered in divine truth. And now, as your ministers and loving supporters, and in the presence of your spiritual family, we share the words displayed on your practitioner license. Centers for Spiritual Living. Be it known that through its leadership council, by virtue of the authority in it vested, has authorized and hereby grants the recognition of practitioner of religious science to Michael Vocchio, with all honors, privileges, and obligations thereunto appertaining.
This practitioner stole represents your commitment to service to this community and to all people who seek spiritual guidance, clarity, and support. Therefore, by the consciousness of all the great revealers of truth who have come before you, by your diligent work in consciousness, and by your desire to serve the world in this way, we bestow upon you this stole and recognize you as a practitioner of religious science. So, Michael, if you'd move forward here, please.
One minute,
Yeah, don't give it up yet.
yes. We welcome you into our spiritual family of licensed practitioners of Center for Spiritual Living Asheville. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm so glad you're here.
Thank you. First, I would absolutely love to thank my beautiful soulmate and partner, who is a manifestation and a demonstration of this teaching. I've been in the study for 10 years, and the last 2 years has been really tough, and it was a little bit tougher having to change jobs, and obviously you can tell I've moved around a lot. And but starting 10 years ago, I didn't realize this is what I wanted to be and do. I wanted to get into the teaching because I easily saw what it could do for me and others, and then got in and was able to start taking classes when I got to Kansas City and realized that, I could hit people upside the head with a 2x4 and teach them this too, because that's what it did to me. The teaching hit me upside the head by a 2x4. But I definitely want to thank CSL Asheville for bringing us in immediately when we got here, and Dr. John and Barbara for their support, and a lot of the practitioners here and that are here today, and for supporting me and encouraging me, quizzing me, and all this stuff that I needed. But it started in Nashville, and that was a good start for me. And everything that I've manifested in way of careers, I have manifested the next step in my spiritual journey with CSLs. I mean, Music City Center was a real small one. Kansas City was a medium size, but had powerful teachers. Dr. Chris Michaels is, people like, oh my God, you're going to be in Chris Michaels' church. You're going to be in his church. And then I came here, and it was like CSL Asheville. They're like the super duper CSL. And it's interesting because when I was at Music City CSL, I actually met Dr. John. He came and ordained Diane and Michael Woody as full reverends, ministers, and I actually met him, and they met in a music store, sold guitars and drums, and gave music lessons, and they had a little studio. But I'm so looking forward to being able to use what I've learned and what I know to help others. And it's interesting because all the centers I've been to and some that I've been to that I didn't belong to, there aren't a lot of male practitioners. And that was one of the things too that hit me was, men may want to meet with men. And so I know the value of a practitioner, so it doesn't really matter if they're alien or women or men or whatever. But so that was another thing. And so I'm looking forward to being able to use all this to continue to better myself. It was a long 2 years of study and learning and that, and it's a continuing process. I mean, my wife will attest, I'm not a big reader. It's hard for me to sit down and read books. 2 years of practitioner training, you have a lot of books to read. Well, I'm now since I finished everything, I'm now on my third spiritual book as part of my continuing education. And I talked to April and said, I think I'd like to jump right in and do a Wednesday night. And here I am this Wednesday. I'll be doing that. So it's been very nerve-wracking. I'll equate it to this. I was thinking about this when I got finished with my oral panels and the experience, and I was like, when I turned 50, I gave myself a gift to go skydiving, tandem skydiving. That was my birthday gift and my Father's Day gift. My birthday's in June, and I did that, and it was the scariest, most exhilarating thing I've ever done in my life. And when I got finished with my oral panels, and I was like, they said, you made it easy for us, you've passed. I kind of a big sigh, and I went, oh my God, that was the scariest and most exhilarating thing I've done. And it's going to be scary along the way. I'm going to hopefully work with a lot of different people, and I'm going to be tested, and I'm going to rely on my teaching. I'm going to rely on my fellow practitioners and my ministers. We're one big family, and I am looking so forward to being a part of this practitioner team and being involved. And I was very honored yesterday. I came by to kind of do a run-through, and Reverend Dr. Barbara said, or I think John asked her if she wanted to be a part, and she said yes. And I was just like, oh my God, this is just amazing, because her recovery and her transformation has been wonderful, and they were both up here. And I think that you out there probably got more pleasure from seeing her up here than dealing with me getting installed and listening to me talk. So with that, I will say that I am complete, and now I would like you all to join me in a spiritual mind treatment. There is one life. That life is God's life, and that life is perfect. That life is perfect love, it's perfect peace, perfect joy, perfect wisdom, perfect knowledge, tremendous, amazing abundance and wealth and prosperity. It is life all around, in everything, through everything, and as everything. And I know that I am one with this perfect life, that I am one with God, that I have perfect peace, joy, love, knowledge, wisdom, prosperity, abundance. I know that God is all there is, and all that God is, I am. And I know this for each and every one here today who might hear these words online and who are out there in this community, in this state, and in this world. This truth is our truth. It's my truth. It's your truth. So knowing this truth, I know that I am completely healthy, whole, and perfect as I was created. I know that I have everything that I need. I have perfect abundance and perfect wealth. I have money enough to meet my needs and excel in my vision and dreams. And I know that I have all the wisdom and knowledge that I need to be the perfect practitioner, the perfect project manager, the perfect friend and confidant and meeter of strangers. And I know that all of this that is true for me is true for you, is true for everyone, because there is no separation between me and God, you and God, everyone and God. God is everywhere present. It is in all things. And I am so thankful and grateful that I know these truths. I am thankful and grateful for Science of Mind teaching. I am thankful and grateful for each center that I have been a member and where I have learned and I have grown. And I am so thankful to be here at CSL Asheville, to be a part of this practitioner team, and grateful to be standing before you to share my life and my experience and my future. And I know that everything is here present for me and for each of us. So I release my words now into the law, knowing that it is done, it is so, it is manifested and demonstrated. And with that, I say, and so it is.